lucky Percy. So I've got Kylian Mbappe here. I've got Erling Haaland here. You've got to build your attack around these two guys. Which one of these two would you want to build your attack around? Mbappe or Haaland? I start with you, Percy.
Okay. Attack as in, I'm sure you're trying to say a center forward.
Exactly, yeah. I mean your outlet for goals.
No problem. Then outrightly, this is not something I'm going to even think twice about.
It's a no-brainer for you.
No. I would go straight up for Haaland. Why would I? You see, the first time I watched Haaland was in, is it 2019, under 20? 2019. He scored 9 goals.
Yeah.
And the match, I was like, I saw it on live score. I was like, was it a training match? As at that time, he was in this team. He was in one sub team then. From there, that was when he moved to. He had a profile around him when he met Liverpool, and he massacred them in that 5-goal thriller. He scored 3 goals, and his profile started rising. Then there were talks that he had to go to United, and he moved to Dortmund. And when he went to Dortmund, there was the eternal serial killer in Lewandowski. He had to stand up with him and go boot for boot for the golden boot. Then from there, watching him, I saw an upgrade of a player like Filippo Inzaghi. I'm just giving you a profile of strikers that Ruud van Nistelrooy. These two, they were the 2 people that came in, especially Ruud van Nistelrooy. Ruud van Nistelrooy was a player that had only one skill set, that was score goals. You watch Haaland.
His business on the field of play is to just score.
He is not about dribbles. He is not about.
He cares less about the
is not
flamboyance.
about assist.
Yeah.
He is about giving you the goals. And as young as he is in fact one of the youngest players to actually have the goal king in the the Champions League. That was last season. Is it no, not this in last 2 seasons. Yeah. And watching Haaland and his goal progression, even when he went to Dortmund, he averaged more than a goal in a match. The only player that you can probably talk about this is Ronaldo when he went to Real Madrid. Yeah. He scored more goals than the matches he played. And you watch Haaland, his match to goal ratio was almost 1. And take away his injuries, he is a player that does the goal scorer and does it perfectly well. I don't want to you see, whenever you mention Haaland and you talk about Mbappe, the only thing people talk about is that and he won the World Cup and he scored the World Cup final goal. Please spare me that. See, winning the World Cup is something that even Pinto, I always say that a lot of keepers or a lot of players have been able to do, being in a side that is formidable enough to win. And for a player like Mbappe is not a player that you can say is an outright forward or maybe a winger or maybe a player that is maybe a number 10 or something, because he's been able to play in the right wing. He goes to the French national team, he plays in the right, he plays in the left. Sometimes he plays an auxiliary striker or a center forward. And he gives you the goal. But if you talk about the goal per match ratio and the average goals, you compare the two, you can't bring Mbappe's to that of Haaland. Again, Haaland as his age, not even Cristiano Ronaldo, not Pele, not Messi, not any player that you can think of who has given you that number of goals. The only player that you can say was closer was Neymar. Neymar at the age of 20 had given you about 100 goals. Haaland at this age and the rate at which he's going, you can't even bring Neymar into the picture. And again for Haaland, like I said, he being able to stick to his scoring of goals and doing it very, very, very well too. His persona is something I like about it. He's not a politician. You see, we are not just talking about someone to lead your attack and destabilize the whole thing. I love his persona. He does little talk, less talk. But then when he gets to the field, and one of the things that you can really use to acclaim that the player is very good is in Europe, especially is in Champions League. And Champions League, the only player that you see who going at this fast pace, you cannot talk about maybe players like Shevchenko when he started. Even Ronaldo did not start. Ronaldo, when he came to United in 2003, his first Champions League goal only came in 2007 against AC Milan. That was the first time he scored a Champions League goal. So even Ronaldo did not start this way. And his progression and his competition. Mbappe for all his life has played in teams that will win the league. Monaco won him the league. PSG is in a one league team. He's always winning the league every season. But you take Mbappe, he has taken challenges. He left his comfort zone, went to...
Oh, you mean you take Haaland?
Sorry, Haaland. He left his comfort zone. He goes to the German Bundesliga, and with a player like Lewandowski, and it got to a time he almost won the Golden Boot. He leaves that place for another challenge. But for Mbappe, a player that got the chance to even take a challenge for himself in in the colors of the White Angels, yet he turned it down because he sees that as his comfort zone. And if you are a player and you play in the in the French league, tell me one of the greatest players in the world that we mentioned, who have played only in the French league.
That's fine. I am beginning to wonder whether you could come across with counter arguments for all of which he's had to say.
Well, for all of which he has to say, most of them I think they are not true. Mbappe has...
Don't speak to his issues.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Give me your reasons why you think
Mbappe
you
has
choose Mbappe over Haaland.
Goal per match ratio. Mbappe is looking at 1.44. Kylian Haaland is looking at 1.3. So Mbappe has a better goal per match ratio than Kylian Mbappe. Numbers speak for itself. In 2016-2017, Mbappe 26 goals, Haaland 4 goals. 2017-2018, Mbappe 21, Haaland 12. 2018-2019, Mbappe 39, Haaland 5. 2019-2020, Mbappe 30, Haaland 44. 2020-2021, Mbappe 42, Haaland 41. 2021-2022, Mbappe 35, Haaland 22. Numbers don't lie. And if we go to the country, it's even worse off, because Norway, how many goals is he scoring? Now, if you want to build a team and you're looking at building a team around Haaland, your team will be very deficient, will be very one-dimensional. Very one-dimensional. Because Haaland, do you know Haaland, his strength is not even in the air. For somebody of his height, check his goal scoring ratio and the kind of goals he scores. He's not good in the air. What in an interview, he actually said, what are his deficiencies and what is his work? He said, in the air. He hardly scores with his head.
Too many goals, yeah.
That's not his deficiency. And he's very one-dimensional. He loves to play in spaces. So play the ball in a space for him to
Percy
run.
Said, that's his business to run onto.
So I'm not. But I'm saying, if you are building a team, build a team around a striker, a center forward who gives you dimensions and varieties to play. Because you're not going to meet just one team who will give you spaces to play. You're going to come up against teams that will shut up shop, teams that will not even allow you to play centrally. Yeah. But when you have a Kylian Mbappe. Per his numbers, he actually has, if you break down his numbers, 54% of his goals have come on the right side. I think 32 or 31 has come on the left, the rest coming through the middle. This is a guy who we can play on the left, on the right, play through the middle. You can even play him as a 10. I've seen him on countless occasions where he's the creative element in that PSG team. So as an auxiliary striker behind the main striker, anytime Mauro Icardi plays, he's the guy that plays just behind Mauro Icardi. What else do you need in a player who does not just give you goals, and the assist numbers is even worse off? I look at Mbappe and the assists he's given all throughout his career and ask, is this guy a creative midfielder or not? Kylian Mbappe from the last 4 seasons, he has had 21 assists for club and country, and Erling Haaland has just 2. So you're looking at a Kylian Mbappe who is not just scoring. He's contributing to the other front players also scoring. Kofi, the question is, if you are building a team, so ask yourself, if you are building a team and this is the productivity level of a player like Kylian Mbappe, he's not just playing through the middle or as a center forward or as just the arrowhead as a striker. You could deploy him anywhere in the forward line and Mbappe will thrive. He's more pacier than Haaland. Yes, strength-wise, Haaland is stronger than him, but he has pace, he has skill. Haaland is not skillful. When you play Mbappe, you're looking at a combination of practically a 10 who is like a striker. So why would I not want Mbappe to, or why would I want to build my team around Mbappe? He spoke about the fact that Mbappe does not want a challenge. In actual fact, he refusing to go to Real Madrid, I think, is a bigger challenge he's taken up upon himself, because it is easier to win the Champions League with Real Madrid than winning with PSG. So Kofi, don't sit here and tell me that he refused the challenge, because imagine he walks into this Real Madrid side. It's a given for him, because the probability that Real Madrid this season, when they did the ratio, this is Real Madrid is 1 in 3 to win the Champions League. PSG is 1 in 7.
Okay.
So you do not sit and tell me he doesn't like challenges. He could have easily gone the easier route by saying, I want to play for Madrid. But he realized, he looks at this PSG setup. Let me win the Champions League with PSG. Then let me prove to people that I can do it with PSG. Come on, I'll build my team with Mbappe.
So they've reacted. Percy lucky. Percy thinks that the trajectory on which Haaland is on, the guy is on course to break records. Lucky thinks that given the kind of goals Kylian Mbappe scores every now and then, he's going to build his team around the Frenchman. Reacts as well.